6:15. This is the Sri Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news edited by Lakshman Fonseca and read by J. Yogaraj. First, the headlines. The President has issued a directive urging against the use of his images on billboards and cutouts. Locals in low-lying area along the Ginganga have been advised to evacuate with immediate effect. Distribution of urea fertilizer required for the Maha season will start from tomorrow. Minister of Foreign Affairs says the Sri Lankan mission in Tel Aviv and Ramallah are in contact with Sri Lankans living in the affected areas. The red early landslide warning issued for several areas in Gaul, Matra and Kalutara districts. Israel's military warns that Hamas militants from Gaza are still fighting. And those are the headlines. President Ranil Wickremesinghe has issued a directive urging against the use of his images on billboards, cutouts and posters. He has also called upon all political leaders to avoid incorporating their photos in their campaign materials. The President's media division said the President has emphasized the importance of addressing the people's needs over the politics of slogans, noting that such practices have adversely affected the country's economy. Making the keynote address in the 149th anniversary celebration of Chenkaladi Central College in Batticaloa this morning, the President reiterated his long-standing opposition to the use of slogans and cutout-based politics and encouraged everyone to embark on a new political culture. The PMD said the President has instructed the relevant parties to remove a large cutout displayed near Chenkaladi Central College in Batticaloa following his participation in various programs in Batticaloa over the past 2 days. Locals in low-lying areas of Baddegama along the Ginganga have been advised to evacuate with immediate effect, Gaul District Secretary Shanta Veerasinghe says. Accordingly, a total of 276 identified families in 11 Grama Niladhara divisions have been received evacuation notices as flood water levels keep rising amidst the prevailing heavy rainfall that has battered the area for the past 2 weeks. Mathura District Secretary Y. Wickremesinghe said 23,108 people of 6,301 families in the district have been displaced due to floods. He said 41,726 people belonging to 11,692 families remain trapped. 390 houses have been damaged while 2 houses have been destroyed in the Mathura district. This news comes to you from Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
People's Bank Excelsior. Live the life you want.
Distribution of urea fertilizer required for the Maha season will commence from tomorrow. Minister of Agriculture Mahinda Amarabira says he has instructed the government-owned fertilizer companies to take steps to immediately distribute 21,000 metric tons of urea fertilizer for the upcoming Maha season. He said the Lanka Fertilizer Company and Colombo Commercial Fertilizer Company have made arrangements to distribute 21,000 metric tons of urea fertilizer from tomorrow. The Commercial Fertilizer Company and Ceylon Fertilizer Company said that the fertilizer can be purchased from agrarian service centers and a 50 kilogram bag of urea fertilizer will be sold at a rate of 9,000 rupees. The 2 government-owned fertilizer companies and the private sector have made arrangements to provide fertilizers on time without any shortage during the Maha season. The minister also said that the government has taken effective steps to provide an amount of 15,000 rupees per hectare to each farmer cultivates paddy to purchase fertilizers. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs expressed concern about the attacks of an escalation of violence in Israel and Palestine. Minister of Foreign Affairs Manusha Nanekara, Minister of Employment Manusha Nanekara says that the Sri Lanka missions in Tel Aviv and Ramallah are monitoring the situation closely, are in contact with Sri Lankans living in the affected areas. He said so far, one Sri Lankan has sustained minor injuries. The statement added that Sri Lanka remains committed in supporting a negotiated settlement in line with internationally agreed parameters of the 2 states. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs said that Sri Lanka is also closely monitoring the situation of Sri Lankan migrant workers in Israel. Minister of Labour and Foreign Employment Manusha Nanekara posted on X formerly known as Twitter, that Sri Lanka is ready to take swift action to protect the Sri Lankan migrant workers. He added he is in direct contact with the Sri Lankan mission in Israel and has directed the Sri Lankan Bureau of Foreign Employment to prioritize the safety of the workers in Israel and Palestine. The National Building Research Organisation, NBRO, has extended the red early landslide warning issued for several areas in 3 districts, Galle, Matra and Kaluthara. Accordingly, a red warning is in place for the following areas until 3 p.m. tomorrow. Meanwhile, a level landslide warning put in place for several areas in the Badulla, Galle, Hambantota, Kaluthara, Galle, Matra and Ratnapura districts will remain active. A level 1 yellow warning was issued for some areas in Badulla, Haldamudulla and Bandaravela. And that's local news.
People's Bank Excelsior, a comprehensive banking services package with a branded checkbook as well as debit and credit card exclusively for you. People's Bank Excelsior, for professionals who dare to dream.
The main news story is brought to you by Sinhala Mahatmya.
The Sri Lankan Navy has deployed several teams to provide assistance to the flood-affected individuals in the Matra district due to inclement weather conditions in the country. The Navy mobilized its food relief teams in Matra, Akurasa, Tiagoda and Kamburupitiya areas in the southern province early this week. These teams are currently engaged in providing assistance to the flood-affected individuals. The Navy said that due to the flood situation in the Kamburupitiya, Akurasa, Tiagoda and Atureli areas of the Matra district caused by the overflowing of Nilbala River, Navy personnel are using dinghies to offer crucial transportation to people struggling to meet their day-to-day needs.
The main news story was brought to you by Sinhala Mahatmya.
In Watchlight, the Met Department says thunder showers accompanied by severe lightning are likely to occur at several places in northern, north central and eastern provinces and in Kandy and Matale districts during the evening or night. There may be temporary localized strong winds during thunder showers. General public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by lightning activity, it added. The Met Department advises the people to seek shelter, preferably indoors, and never under trees. Avoid open areas such as paddy fields, tea plantations and open water bodies during thunderstorms. Avoid using wired telephones and connected electric appliances. And that came to you in Watchlight. And moving on to world news headlines. Israel's military warns that Hamas militants from Gaza are still fighting. Putin stresses stronger ties with allies on his birthday. Moderna is hoping to make its COVID jab available privately in UK. And those are the headlines of the world news. Israel's military has warned that the Hamas militants from Gaza are still fighting inside Israel after they infiltrated southern communities and left a reported 250 people dead. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has told Israelis they are going into a long and difficult win. Hundreds of gunmen burst into southern Israel, killing soldiers and civilians and taking into Gaza what the army said was a significant number of hostages. Israel has responded with airstrikes. More than 200 people were killed. Russian President Vladimir Putin said his country will further develop relations with Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan in an apparent demonstration of close ties with former Soviet nations. Putin spoke on Saturday at a ceremony near Moscow to mark the launch of the first pipeline supply of Russian gas to Uzbekistan via Kazakhstan. The presidents of 2 countries also attended to mark this occasion. Moderna is hoping to make its COVID jab available privately in UK. Currently, it can be given only as part of the NHS Autumn Boost program. But next year, the COVID vaccine license is likely to be updated, so high street pharmacies and private clinics can sell it like the flu jab Moderna, Chief Executive Stefan Bancel told BBC. Moderna is also hoping to launch a combined messenger ribonucleic and COVID vaccine in 2025. Interim data from early trials suggests it is effective as separate doses of existing jabs. And that's world news. Development news. A new project to promote science education in 50 schools has been launched by Commercial Bank of Ceylon in collaboration with the National Science Foundation. It will also backed and the science branch of Ministry of Education, the Commercial Bank of Ceylon, and the project is one of the series of initiatives supported by the bank to take science, technology, engineering and mathematics education to schools across the country. And that was development news. In sports cricket, Pakistan coach Mickey Arthur admits he knows Sri Lanka's strengths and weaknesses inside out, having spent 2 years at the helm of his Asian rivals. Former champions Pakistan and Sri Lanka clash at the World Cup in Hyderabad on Tuesday, allowing Arthur the opportunity to renew his evidence with players he helped to develop as coach between December 2019 to November 2021. Pakistan defeated the Netherlands in a nervy performance by 81 runs in Hyderabad on Friday to open their World Cup campaign. They overcame a top-order failure, recovering from 38 for 3 before posting a challenging 286 with half-centuries from Saud Shakil and Mohammad Rizwan. And they then bowled out the Netherlands for 205 in 41 overs. And that was sports news.
Go ekak thiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු වීර හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Shangri-La Colombo and Shangri-La Hambantota achieved the top recognition at the World Travel Awards 2023, reinforcing their position as leaders in the hospitality industry. Shangri-La Colombo was honoured with the titles of Sri Lanka's leading hotel 2023, Sri Lanka's leading business hotel 2023 and Sri Lanka's leading hotel suite 2023, while Shangri-La Hambantota was awarded the title of Sri Lanka's leading beach resort 2023, and hotel company said in a media release. Herb DeBosque, General Manager of Shangri-La Colombo, said that they are honoured to have won the recognition, and this undoubtedly reinforces the quest to be the best loved hospitality group, he said. And that was Business News.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekak thiyana youth එකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු වීර හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
In economic news, Sri Lanka's tourism revenues grew more than triple to $152.2 million in September 2023 from a year earlier, as arrivals have gradually picked up, official data show. The tourism revenue numbers are based on the survey conducted by the Tourism Promotion Office and released by the Central Bank. Estimated tourism revenues for September was $152.2 million, up from $40.5 million in the same month a year earlier. And that was economic news. Weather report. The Met Department says favourable for afternoon thunder showers in eastern, northern and north central provinces, and the Met Department predicts showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in eastern, central, northern and north central provinces and in Kurunegala district during the evening or night. Fairly heavy showers more than above 75 millimeters can be expected at some places. Several spells of showers will occur in western, Sabarakamu and southern province and Puttalam district. The general public has been requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damage caused by temporarily localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. And that was the weather report. To wind up this news podcast, let's look at the main points once again. The President has issued a directive urging against the use of his images on billboards and cutouts. Locals in low-lying areas of Baddegama along the Ginganga have been advised to evacuate with immediate effect. Distribution of urea fertilizer required for the Maha season will commence from tomorrow. Minister of Foreign Affairs says that Sri Lankan missions in Tel Aviv and Ramallah are in contact with Sri Lankans living in the affected areas. The red early landslide warning issued for several areas in Gaul, Mathura and Kalutura districts will remain active. Israel's military warns that Hamas militants from Gaza are still fighting. And with that, we conclude this evening news podcast of Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. It's back to Mario Vijayawardena to keep you company with the rest of the programs this Sunday morning.